Hey, Brad Chmielewski here with the first Shatter the Vain Minisode. And on these, we're going to dive into, I guess, specific topics, maybe not necessarily Vainglory related. And joining me to kick off the first one, I have Rumblysuperset. Welcome, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Pleasure to be here.
it's good to have you back on chatting with you. It's been a long time since the episode you were on. I was
Yeah,
looking back at
definitely.
our chat history, and it's like, whoa.
It was a long time ago, yeah.
Yeah. But since that, you've now started dabbling in some of the
Mhm.
other mobile MOBAs out there and started
Right.
this other channel. I'd love to hear one, I guess, why? I guess, why'd you stop just focusing on Vainglory?
The big thing was, Vainglory, I've been doing it for, almost 3 years now. And while I still thoroughly enjoy it, I wanted a different flavor, so to
Okay.
speak. And I've always been, a MOBA fan, and I've actually originally started playing on League of Legends, which was 5v5 mode. And while I know Vainglory is coming with 5v5, which is amazing, I can't wait. Like I can't wait because of the fact that there was another game with them that was a mobile on mobile that was 5v5. So I kind of wanted to like try that out and gravitate towards that a little bit, like just branch out, so to speak. Um, and Arena of Valor was kind of coming up in beta, and I actually got in contact with them too,
Oh,
and
cool.
they were telling about their game and like why is it like something I might want to try out. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll try it out. And I played it and I loved it. And I think a lot of it is because it is 5v5, but
And
yeah, that's the main reason why I went over.
and so that one was Strike of Kings, right? It's the same game
Right.
that got name changed, right?
They got changed quite a few times. So it was like Realm of Valor, then it went to Strike of Kings, and then now the official name for the EU launch is Arena of Valor.
Okay. So yeah, as we're
Yeah.
recording this now, it's only in EU, right? On the EU
Right.
store. Okay.
It's
Uh,
an EU, and then it has other regions too that it's like been released in, but not NA yet.
yeah. So I guess that 5v5 mode you're kind of liking, but you dabbled in, I guess, some of the other ones too, like Mobile Legends. You were posting videos for a little bit. Like,
Right.
what's made you kind of dive into this one more than one of the other ones? Is there a reason, or are you just kind of like
Yeah,
working with
there's
them?
there's definitely a reason. Like I actually played all of them. Like there was Mobile Legends, there was what's the other one called? Heroes Evolved, and then of course Strike of Kings, which is now Arena of Valor, and they all play very very similar. They have the same kind of mechanics, and basically pretty much the game itself is the same, just reskinned.
Okay.
Um, it comes down to that. But the reason why I kind of stopped doing Mobile Legends was because I did hear about some of the things where they're like getting in trouble through copyright and stuff like that, and I kind of was like, I want to leave myself out of that picture, so I stopped doing
Okay.
Mobile Legends. And then also Heroes Evolved, while it was a fun game, like I have to do this in two different perspectives. I have to do it because I enjoy it, and then two, if I'm putting time into this, it has to make some sort of revenue. And for
Right.
me, the reason why is because it's my job. Like it supports my family, so I can't just disregard that.
Right.
So I talked to Heroes Evolved, and I never got a response back to kind of work with them, and I was like they don't seem very responsive. So then I got contacted by Arena of Valor, and they were just super happy to have me, and they like pretty prompt with responding back at all times, and they were fully on board. And I was just like, wow, this is great. This developer is fully integrated in the community, not just as the person who develops the game, but the people who interact with the community,
Right.
and it's really nice to see that. And it was like a glimpse of what Vainglory is. It just with a different game.
Right. Yeah. I guess Vainglory and Super Evil kind of spoiled, I think, all of us in that
A
way.
little bit, yeah.
You're like, wait, you don't talk to your fans? That doesn't
Right,
make
yeah.
sense to us. uh, so then, but you're still like making a lot of Vainglory content and doing
Right.
that, and that channel is separate now. You try. I remember seeing you tried to like kind of combine them, and then now you're just kind of like these are two different things, right?
Yeah, I kept the mobile MOBAs separate from the beginning. The only thing I was dabbling with was branching out with like PC gaming on my Vainglory channel.
Okay.
But I wanted to make sure people understood that I wasn't quitting Vainglory. That channel is for the MOBA. Being on that channel was Vainglory, and so I kind of split off the other one on a separate channel.
Okay.
So those who were interested can go, and those who weren't can stay with Vainglory.
Hmm.
So yeah, and I'm still adamantly working on contents. It's been a little slow lately because I've had like some personal things going on. And also, as you know, I work with Gangsta's Academy now too, so that takes up a little bit of time.
Right, yeah, that's a lot of
So,
work. Yeah.
so yeah.
So then, like, why, if someone's playing Vainglory, would you recommend them checking these out, or like, I guess there's crossover. I'm sure people followed you into from Vainglory over to
Right.
the Arenas of Valor now, and you have people going back and forth a little bit now. But do you feel like you recommend it to people, or is like one MOBA good for everyone?
I definitely think that it's always great to kind of broaden your horizons. I'm not saying quit Vainglory because Vainglory is a great game. One, because it's unique. All these other games are very carbon copy of like League of Legends, whereas Vainglory
Okay.
separates itself as being very unique in its own right. But if you're like into really if you're really into MOBAs like myself, I would definitely say just playing another one isn't harmful, and it's definitely actually really fun because it's a fresh new take to a game, to a genre that you've already used to play.
Right.
And it's really fun. And if that's what it's all about for you, fun, then I would definitely check it out.
Hmm. What have you seen now playing some of these other ones that you would love to see kind of Super Evil Megacorp kind of maybe just pull from or kind of bring over to Vainglory?
The big thing I would say they shouldn't do is conform to the joystick controls because touch is touch is where it's at. But no one really does that except for SCMC. So I like that they do that. But the thing I would like to see kind of happen on Vainglory too is the aesthetic look to it. So I mean like the skins. So in Arena of Valor, the skins are just so far left field that it's just really cool to see like something that's just not even related to lore whatsoever.
Oh, okay.
Like and they kind of did that with like the summer skins, but that was pretty much it. Everything else is loosely tied to an alternate universe with the lore.
Right.
Um, and they don't really break away too much from like I guess maybe you would say like the time frame that they're from, like that steampunk fantasy feel.
Yeah, they kind of
Um,
have the, I guess, Mad Max world, but that's kind of the
yeah,
same, but same
yeah,
but
and they all
different.
kind of gravitate towards that type of environment. I would like to see like very extravagant, very far left field skins, and like a lot of times what I see too is like they have these MOBAs where they have skins for the teams that win tournaments, and they have like they specifically make custom skins for those heroes that those professional players played and
Oh,
won with.
yeah.
And that would be really cool to see, Vainglory do something similar.
Hmm. Uh, do you think going into the 5v5 for Vainglory now, do you think they'll copy that map? I know a lot of people are kind of worried that we'll see that same top, mid, bottom lane, or do you have more faith in SCMC than that?
I think the general like structure of it will be like somewhat similar because it's kind of hard to get away from the 3 lane system. It's just because the reason why it's 3 lanes is that there's so much depth to it, and it kind of there's a lot more involved than just saying, oh, there's 3 lanes now. There's like things like rotations from like top lane to bottom lane or mid lane to bottom lane, or jungling and ganking and having pressure in every single lane, and it's really evolves from like a 3v3 to a 5v5 by a lot. Like there's a lot more involved with that. But I know SMC. I think they're going to make it very unique. There's going to be some objectives that you wouldn't see in places that would otherwise be in another map. Like I think there was one where they have like a very specific location in the river where it's like a U-shaped structure, and like it's probably gonna be like a boss there. I think,
Right.
and that's something you wouldn't see in any of the other MOBAs. Is like that location and how it's set up. Like the fights there are gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
But
that's what I'm hoping for, and it's neat to see when games do other things, like some of the other when they're just copies.
right.
They're not as fun. They're familiar, and you have a good time, but maybe they're not as interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to break away from like when you have a 5v5 format. Like you have to have something similar
Right.
because it just works that way. Like you can't just say, "Oh, we're not going to do anything they do in that map because we're copying." Well, it's inevitable. You're going to have some overlap where it's very similar in certain aspects.
Hmm. Cool. So, do you know when the Arenas of Valor's launch is going to happen in A&A at all?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. They've been shooting a couple months. Like they're kind of like not sure yet. They haven't given any concrete dates, but they were saying like late September, early October is what they're looking at.
Okay.
Because they just launched, it's like almost mid-August, and that's just now doing EU launch. So probably a little after, like 30 days from now, so like September-ish,
Oh, okay.
20th or so. I would suspect it would drop around there.
Do you think that the league people are going to come over to it once it's here in NA? You think it's that familiar that they're kind of going to give it a try? Have you noticed that happening?
I definitely think that there will be some gravitation towards Arena of Valor just because it's very similar to League of Legends and people will get curious. And everybody has a phone, so it's not hard to just check it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think there's gonna be some overlap. But I don't know like what's gonna be like the rate at which people actually stay, because a lot of those players from League of Legends have conformed to League of Legends and don't really like change.
Yeah.
You know, and so like you get a lot of flack too on some of the videos where they're like, oh, this is just a League of Legends ripoff, you know, things like that. Well, unfortunately, they didn't realize that, you know, the same company who makes Arena of Valor owns League of Legends. So
Right, yeah, they're just.
that's why it's going to be very similar.
They could just put League on the phone and then
Yeah.
bank on that too, but yeah, do a little different, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Thanks for, I guess, chatting about these mobile MOBAs. It's always fun, and I know a lot of people probably had concerns that you maybe weren't committed to Vainglory as much as you are. There's content and streams. There's mostly streams for Vainglory, right? So if anything.
For me right now, it's mainly just like the general like gameplays right now. I'm working on some things behind the scenes, but it takes a lot of work to get this series going. But you know, obviously when 5v5 drops, it's going to be like crazy on that channel, because there's going to be a lot of different content that hasn't been covered yet because it is 5v5 now, and yeah, it's going to be exciting. But yeah, I'm not stopping Vainglory at all.
All right, exciting. So everyone, check out both the channels. There's the Rumblysuperset and then Rumbly TV, correct?
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, check out both. You know, go. I think you probably have the most subscribers in Vainglory.
Vainglory did pass me again, though.
Oh, they did.
Channel.
Oh,
you bastards!
It's a competition now.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah. Thanks for joining me again. Awesome. Hopefully, everyone out there enjoyed this little mini-sode on mobile MOBAs. Take care.
Shatter the Vain.